It's a grizzly.
Should we get out of here?
No. We're gonna watch and listen.
Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome. We have Grizzly, Mary, and Angela. How are y'all doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, doing wonderful. Welcome, Chris. Everybody that's starting to tune in and getting ready to watch the replay. We wanted to say something about Justin Decker. Hey, Joey. Hey, Kathy. Justin Decker still recovering from his stroke. He's still at UK Chandler Hospital in Lexington, Kentucky. So we want to send prayers to him, his family, and friends. And make sure and keep up with our Bigfoot Outlaw page or Jennifer and with updates. So, and just reach out and say hi and tell them that you're thinking about it. It really means a lot. So, what have you been up to, Angela?
Oh, a lot. A lot has been going on. So I have been doing paranormal tours of Ash Cave. And a spirit came home from there, from Ash Cave, and with me. And she's very, very nice. She's actually quite helpful. Her name is Martha Height. And very early on, almost about 100 years ago, she was a house servant for a prominent family. And everybody in town knew her. She never married, but she was just so known for her kindness. And then the people that she worked for, their son got drunk one night and broke into her house and beat her. And she actually succumbed to her injuries about a week or two later. But she has been sighted there at the cave, which is Ash Cave out in Hocking Hills. And she actually warned a couple about getting too close to a cliff. And she's very, very sweet. Now, I had a spirit attachment recently, and this spirit attachment, this woman came to me in the form of a nightmare first, because she just had such an impressive presence. This woman identified herself. She gave me her surname, her last name, Platz, and she said she was from northern Poland, that she immigrated to Cincinnati, Ohio area in around 1900. I was even able to find a church where she would have attended. I found that. And there was a small Polish community at that time, so that's where she would have been. And she showed me how she came, how she was dressed. She was an unusually tall woman, and she had come to find a career because she was a dressmaker, right? She could design dresses. And after a time, after she was here a while, she actually contracted some skin disease, which I think was either necrotizing fasciitis or leprosy, something of that nature. And of course, if you contracted some sort of skin disease in that time frame, they actually isolated you. They took all your rights away. They institutionalized you. You're treated horribly. And she was showing and how she was appearing to me was really nightmarish. And she came through a spirit box loud and clear, and she spoke intelligently, and I was getting intelligent responses. And I asked her name. She gave me a surname. Then I said, which part of Poland did you come from? And she said northern. That was the area of Poland that she came from. And I did a painting for what she was trying to express, because she felt there was just so much injustice that was done to her. She said, it wasn't my fault that I got this disease, right? And she said the worst part of it was being separated from her children. I mean, that was the hardest part for her. But I did a painting of the imagery that she was giving me and how she appeared and what she wanted me to paint for her. And I finished up on it. You can see this is how she looked. This was how she looked before, right? And then here, right, the debilitating nature of that disease. right? She nothing like she did before. Plus the impact that it had psychologically and emotionally for that disease. So I was determined to help cross her over. Over the weekend, I was doing readings at the Anchorage Mansion, and I was just showing some of my equipment. I pulled out my spirit box, and her voice came through loud and clear. She said my first and last name together, very loudly through a spirit box. And one of the employees there at the Anchorage Mansion, she was there, and she was like, "Wow, that was loud. That was your name." I said, yes. So finally, now when I got home, lo and behold, Martha Height, she gave her first and last name through a spirit box. I turned the spirit box on, her name came through, and she said she was there to help Miss Platts cross over. And I recorded the whole session from, and I asked Martha, will you help me cross her over? And she said very clearly, yes, I will. And you hear the whole conversation between Martha and Mrs. Platts, who was the immigrant from Poland. And you hear that whole process happening. I said a prayer, I opened the door of heaven. I said, is the door of heaven open for her? And they said it is. And I asked that everybody come and surround her. So they did. And I saw a beautiful place. We asked her, Martha and we asked her to just walk, just step forward in this heavenly place. Just will yourself to be there, and you'll be there. And I heard some more conversation among the men. There was men that were saying that said the word foreigner because she was foreign. They talked about that at first she was hesitant about crossing, but she did cross. And then at the end, you hear that, yes, it's we're done. We've done it. So she is over. And then I did another spirit box session just to confirm that she's over there. I said, do you have her over there? And they said, yes, we do. She's over here. She's with us in heaven. And I just got to thank Martha. I mean, what a sweet soul. I mean, she didn't have to do that, but she came over and she helped this spirit. And how she was manifesting to me, she wasn't just manifesting in my dreams. She appeared in my front yard in broad daylight. I was just doing yard work, and she appeared as a very tall shadow figure, a solid shadow figure outside, broad daylight. And she kind of recessed up against the house. And she was keeping me up at night. It felt like somebody was grabbing my bed from underneath and was trying to pull my mattress down. And I had to tell her, no, please stop. Please don't do that. And she also appeared to me one last time. She peeked her head around the corner at me. I had an open door, and it was a very strange looking face, but this head was only like a few inches off the floor. So it was a bit unsettling, but I'm just very happy to know that she's in good hands, especially with Martha, who would have been probably in the same time frame as Mrs. Platts. She would have been the same time frame. So I just wanted to, thank Martha for doing that. That was just a beautiful thing that she did.
That's pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
So I was seeing on Facebook that you had a vision of World War III.
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
This was years ago, and it started happening. I started seeing these visions when I was about 7 or 8 years old, and they were in a series. So it was over a period of years, and the main emphasis, the main focus was China and the actions of China. And what I saw that China creates this army. They actually invade and overwhelm the Middle East. And what I saw, I was taken in a vision to Israel, and I was taken to this desert. In this desert, I just had cracked ground, and it was flat, as far as you can see. And I saw horsemen, and these horsemen, I knew they were Chinese. They were all in black, and they were like shadow people, and they were running past me. And when they would run past me, I would start to see blood pooling on the ground. And suddenly there was blood just everywhere to the point where this was no longer a desert, it was a sea of blood. And I was watching, and there was a very peaceful presence behind me, reassuring me and putting his hand on my shoulder. And he said, "This will happen in your lifetime." And I was shown again China overcoming and overpowering and taking over the United States. And they do this in cooperation with Russia. And I've had many visions of that, how that plays out. I say these aren't certainties. I just, say that these are possibilities. But what I was shown, that this vision was so real, I couldn't believe it wasn't happening in the moment, because I was suddenly outside and I look up, I see one of those Russian SUs overhead that had passed. And then I suddenly hear on the news, like a news break, that said there was an atomic weapon that was dropped on a city out west. Now, I didn't know, it didn't name the city. They didn't name the city. And there was so much panic. And I saw Chinese soldiers that were hunting down and killing Americans, but they were very specific on the Americans they were targeting. They were targeting the wealthy Americans specifically first. The Chinese were taught that the whole source of wealth for American millionaires and billionaires was off of the labor of Chinese laborers. And because of that, these Chinese soldiers who were laborers, who were from the common class, because Chinese society is very stratified, right? And these Chinese, the common Chinese who were in the ranks of the Chinese army, had a personal grudge and were extremely angry with the wealthy Americans, because the Americans were benefiting off of the labor off of the Chinese, and the Chinese commoners did not get to enjoy any wealth. So they were killing as many wealthy people as they could. And China does end up conquering the entire world. They conquer the U.S. And what the Chinese did was to convince Americans that if Americans gave up their weapons, that the Chinese would guarantee certain freedoms. Okay, so Americans willingly surrendered all arms, and there were no arms available, no means of self-defense to Americans. They actually disarmed every American. And at first, Americans had more freedom. They explained that, our media was more freer at that time. And at first, things were prosperous and things were good for the common American, right? For those of us who were not wealthy Americans.
They're asking, do you have any time frame on that vision? Hey, Virgil, Tracy Inman. Hey, brother.
Very soon. They said in my lifetime. So, it can't be much longer now, given my age. But the Chinese, I've been watching the Chinese, and of course, after the Chinese take over, there was a massive famine, and then everybody becomes a slave. And the thing that I heard about China the most, that China will conquer the world, will punish the whole world, but God will punish China ultimately. I don't have a time frame on it, but I have seen recently, if you've been paying attention to China, and I also put in my videos about Xi Jinping being kind of removed from power because the tariffs had affected them economically. And so they kind of removed him from official power, from his place. And he's kind of like a figurehead at the moment. And there's a major power shift. And there's so much struggle. I saw the circumstances under which this initiates. What I saw was essentially an economic struggle, that collapse that happens within China. And then China, in desperation, kind of rallied their nation, and to also get more economic stability, starts reaching out and initiating strikes against other countries. Now, China is at that state now. And there are warnings going out by the State Department. They expect that China to invade Taiwan this year. And there looks like that China may go through the Bering Strait. And if they go through the Bering Strait, it's only a hop, skip, of a jump to the U.S. through the Bering Strait. And they are the backers of Iran. China and Iran have an oil deal with each other. And as I pointed out in my video, China has to secure and guarantee they have oil reserves to continue their economy. If that is threatened at all, and Iran undergoes some sort of regime change or a threat or a major bombing or catastrophe, China has to act to defend its resources. As far as they're concerned, Iran is their property. And they would have to, that's what prompts these invasions. And I see the circumstances right now. So I think it's something that is very much on the cusp of happening. And I hope not. I hope that we pray, and I hope we prevent this from happening. I hope that cooler heads prevail. But it looks like to me this is going to be happening very, very soon, and we should take it very seriously.
Oh, absolutely. And as Angela and I are talking with Mary, and if you do want a reading, just say, I do. Ashia, I got you in line. Anybody else, as we're talking, I'll start dropping you stars and get you in order there. That's pretty fascinating. And when I saw that post on Facebook, I thought, wow, that's really interesting, isn't it? Rosie says it's the fall. Rosie, I got you, of the U.S. That you are right. And Chris says, bring in early stages of still developing my mediumship ability. Am I connecting with who I believe I'm channeling? For the most part, please and thank you. All right, Chris, I guess we'll start with you then Rosie. And
okay.
Then Ashaya. So after you, Angela.
Okay, so is Chris channeling who you believe you're channeling? Okay.
Hey, Virgil.
Okay, so the first rune I get is Nadi. So this is the rune this is also like a tightness around the chest, but this would also be a rune of love and protection. What I'm feeling I feel like you have a spirit guide that is protecting you, and this is the sign of the spirit guide is in fact protecting you. So you have that protection. And then the next rune, I've got Tiwaz, but Tiwaz is inverted. This is usually victory. But what I'm feeling like there is a male that is with you, that is protecting you. The male, I feel like he's had some issues. Like he's had a lot of a difficult struggle in his life while he was in body. But now I feel like this male is with you. He's incorporating those lessons, his mistakes, teaching you to avoid those. And the next rune I have here is this Ansus. So Ansus, and I actually, here in front of me, it's in the proper form. So yes, you are channeling him. You are bringing down that information, because I see Ansus. It's specifically addressing channeling. So the ability to speak what spirit is giving you. And this male is very much attached to you. It's very protective. That feels, when I see him, it kind of appears to me as, I see a man with a kind of a laurel leaf crown on his head. So so this
Did
is a
you say lawn leaf?
Laurel leaf.
Oh, I thought you meant like Tarzan. I was like, Angela, here we go.
Here he is, Chris.
A loin leaf. I haven't heard that since I was a kid.
Laurel leaf. The wreath of victory they used to give to athletes.
Okay. Oh, my Lord. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, about that mishap there. I'm sitting here. I'm like, man, she keeps saying loin leaf or loin leaf or something. I don't know. Anyways. All right, Rosie, come on down. Rosie, would like a sample, please?
Sure, I'll go ahead and give Rosie a reading here.
That was funny.
Okay, Rosie Alvarado. And I'll draw the 3 runes here for you.
You're welcome, Chris.
Okay. So the first rune I got here for you, Rosie, is the rune Iowa. So this is death and regeneration. I feel like you've just been through a health situation and had some health struggles. I feel like you're recovering, and that's what I'm getting, like regenerating, recovering from some health issues. Now, the next rune I have is Ansus. So Ansus is wisdom. It's speaking, and emphasizes speaking wisdom here. And what I'm being told, the very first thing when I touched this is I heard, listen to your doctors. That's the very first thing I heard when I touched this. The next rune I got is Tiwaz. So Tiwaz is victory. It's also oath and promise. I'm being told that you're going to get through this. You're going to have improvement in your health. You're going to have a wonderful health outlook for yourself.
You're not laughing. Unbelievable. That's exactly what I was getting. That's what cracks me up. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll ask that. Next up, Aisha. Joey, you're the one that's funny. I thought she said loincloth. I was like, what the hell, Angela? No one runs around a loincloth. George of the Jungle, maybe, but Dad, I got you. I got you. All right, now let me mark this just to make sure. Rosie says, yes, I did have breast cancer, and I have had cleared for a few years. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, yes. Aisha, come on down. All right. Don't get me laughing, Joey. I can't stop. I'm on a giggling mission tonight. So, and how's your sister, by the way? It was funny, Angela. I met him and his sister at a conference.
Yeah.
We all thought they were married because the way they were bickering. We really did. Then it really got deep. We were like, ain't that right, Joey? Hey, Ann. Nice to see you there. Crystal Carroll, welcome to the show. I've got you in line there. Virgil says, I've always been a fan of Tarzan, but Cheeto is a cool monkey. I can see you swinging from the bedroom ceiling. Good job there, Virgil. All right, Ashia. Nice to see you too, Ann. All right, is Ashia still in here? With this heat, I may try a loincloth. Nice to meet you. Before Ann's like, what world did I walk into?
Make sure you have another one for your forehead that you dipped in water to cool off, right?
Yeah, right. Isn't that true? All right, Ashia.
Okay, Ashia. Okay, so Ashia. So Ashia, let's see what we need.
Already, Joey?
All right.
Yes. Joey's got me. Joey, quit with the loincloth. I don't want to see your sister wearing that swinging. And Ashia, yes, you can ask the question now. Go ahead. You're not telling me about it.
Sure, Ashia, you go ahead and ask me. That's fine.
Oh, Joey. You better not tell your sister to watch this. All right, Ashia. What does Omar think of me after he saw my photos as it arranged a marriage proposal? What? Shut the front door. So what did you do? So you did a photo arrangement as a marriage proposal? Explain this to me. I'm trying to picture this in my mind. No pun intended. Angel, do you know what she's talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it's for some arranged marriages. I mean, sometimes you might have a meeting or two, but you're going to be sending.
Oh, arranged by parents first to exchange photos.
Mm-hmm.
I've got you. I thought you meant like you put a bunch of pictures on the ground saying, "Will you marry me?" Then I've got you. I've got you. Angel, it was right once again.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine. So I never there write pictures on the ground. Will you marry me? That would be.
You see it in movies,
right.
where people hold up initials and letters. So, what's your take, Angela?
Okay, so the first rune I got is Sowilo. Here I have it. The camera shows it backwards, but the way it is, it's a non-invertible rune. This means success. It feels like he's actually stricken with you. He sees you and he looks at you and he sees you as, wow. Like, wow, she's really beautiful. The next rune, this is Manas, this is intellect, this is the Bifrost Bridge. And I see you holding hands with him. And it's like you meet and you just are drawn to each other. You hold hands. I feel like both of you just grab each other's hands. Just you have that instant connection. The next rune is Ansus. So Ansus is wisdom. It's also speaking wisdom. And I'm being told that speak from your heart. Speak from your heart with him.
She says, I'm afraid how he will be about it.
It seems like he's absolutely stricken. He's like, wow. It's like because what I'm being shown is like he sees your picture and it's like a light goes off, So I'm like, oh, she came from heaven. This is perfect. Like he's in awe of your, like he's like in awe of your beauty. It's like he's just amazed.
And what type of personality do you think he is or has?
He does not feel like he is an outspoken man. He feels like he's more reserved. He feels quieter to me.
Taurus.
He like feels
like a Taurus. Mary says a Taurus. I'm going to ride the bull.
I get the impression he's very open to new experiences. And I got the impression that he is more easygoing. It's more like he'll try anything if you ask him. If you ask him, he'll try. I was like, okay, let me go with this,
But he's not a narcissist or anything.
I'm not picking up anything narcissistic. Let me just ask the runes and let me see and get more information on him. Okay, so I have Degas. So Degas is balanced. So he's a very mentally and emotionally balanced person. The next rune I got is Sowilo. So I get that he likes to be outside a lot. He likes the sun. He likes to be outdoors. And the next rune I got is Ingwas. So Ingwas is stability. Again, this goes back to balance, that he's very stable. And I'm getting off of this that he is financially stable, that he's wise with his finances. So I'm not seeing any hint of narcissism. I'm just seeing a very balanced person, somebody who likes to work on himself and improve himself. And that he's worked on that enough where he is very balanced mentally, emotionally.
Joey says it sounds like him. Joey, would you like to be on a dating game? That guy from Bigfoot Outlaw.
Are you welcome? Are you welcome, Aisha?
Yes, absolutely. I see you. I'm just going to call you Sweetie. There you go.
Mhm.
All right, Aisha. All right, next up,
Aisha?
Crystal Carol. Come on down, Crystal Carol, please.
Okay, Crystal Carol. You have as many rocks as I do, Crystal. I'm sure. I think Crystal Carol, all I can think of, okay, somebody that collects crystals. Let me take a look here and see what the runes say. Go ahead and draw them ahead of time.
I'll wear my loincloth. Hey, Michelle, welcome to the show. Nice to see you.
Okay. So the first rune I got for you, Crystal, this is Kenya. So Kenya's is the rune of intuition, is the rune of wisdom. This represents a torch in the darkness to find your way around. What I'm getting a message to rely on your intuition. You're not as trusting it as you think you should be. So please trust it. It's saying, yeah, it's there. You do have your intuition. It is a valid guide for you. So trust your intuition is what I'm being told. The next rune I got is Nadi. So Nadi's is the rune of, this is the need fire. This can also be love. This could be protection. This can also be stress. This is also be emergency, basic necessities. Um, I'm getting a bit of pressure. It feels like to me that you have pressure from a job and it's high pressure. I'm feeling like this is coming from an occupation that you have, and you're in this high stress situation, and it's taking its toll. So be careful. Be careful. Watch your health. Take your deep breaths. You can use the runes to kind of help you through that. And the next rune I got is Iwas. So Iwas is travel. And what I'm getting off of this is I keep seeing like a vacation being planned coming up for yourself. I'm being told to encourage you to take that vacation. I keep seeing water and the sun over the water, like going to a beach, like a beach vacation. And that's what I'm being led to. When you're dealing with stress like this, one of the things I like to do with runes, I just have a bag of runes and I'll just draw a rune or 3 runes for that day and say, what are the best runes going to help me through this day? And I will go ahead and write those runes down and I'll say those runes. And since I work from home, I actually carve them into a candle, light a candle and light some incense. The incense fills the room up and it relaxes me. And it seems like my day is more positive, but I'm setting the intention. I'm using the runes to help me set the intention to have a positive day, right? To have a happy day, to have a less stressful day. And whenever you're stressed out, just think of one of those runes, take a deep breath, and say, I'm going to get through this. I got this. And you'll get through it.
Crystal says, yeah, I'm doing college entrance exams. And right now I'm being pressured to do a job. I'm still a young adult. She also comes back, oh, yeah, Angela, my boyfriend and his parents are wanting me to visit them in their country. So what do you think about that, Angela?
Wow, that's something. What country is it? Because I see water and sun. Does it have a beach? I hope it does.
Interesting. Well, she responds, Dow Dow. I do this. This is ascension causing my recent anxiety. Thank you.
And thank you, Crystal. That was amazing validation. And Honduras. Okay. Honduras, yeah. A land of sun and water. Absolutely, there's sun and water. Wow. I hope you enjoy it there. If you get a chance to go, it just seems like it's might be less stressful than you think. It might be something that might be helpful for you. Okay, and Crystal Carol.
Says it resonated so much.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And anybody else for a reading?
Yeah.
Down. Okay. Is this essentially going to, okay, like you mean like reset your anxiety or take it back a notch? Is that where you're
Lori.
at? Down, because you're asking about your ascension.
He says my answers.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look here and see what the runes have to say.
Hi, Lori.
Okay, so there are 3 runes here I pulled for you. The first word is Helgelas. So this is transformation, but it also could be interference. I'm getting a sense that anxiety is interfering with your ascension, with your goals right now. Because Helgelas is like the Hellstone. It's this unexpected destruction that can come in at a moment's notice, and it's probably what your anxiety is coming in. That's like this destruction, but I'm being told that the anxiety is letting you know that there's something there that has to be dealt with before you can complete your transformation. So that's why it keeps coming up. Okay, so the next rune I got is Isa. So Isa is a rune of delay. It's also patience. And I'm just seeing Isa in the context of the glacier, which is this giant wall of ice that has to move, but it's tremendous when it does move, but it does move kind of slowly. So this transformation, I'm being told, it has to be allowed to take time and take process, and you will have to search within to find the source of this anxiety so you can deal with it and complete your transformation and your ascension. The next rune is, I apologize about the table. This rune is Iwas. So Iwas here is upside down, which usually means travel. It means journey. And I'm being told to stay put. Like stay put and focus on the journey within instead of not taking journeys out there. I'll focus on you and taking journeys within is what I'm being told here.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, Chris, I've got you. Well, hello, Lori. We missed you, Lori. I've got you too, and Lori. Dowdell, you're welcome. She says, thank you, Angela. I had it backwards. Anxiety is messing with my ascension. So, yeah, don't forget, Lori reminds us, please hit the bell button and subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. Missed you too, Lori.
Has her,
Ask her.
has she had the baby yet, Lori?
Yes. Have you had the grandbaby yet? And next up is Kathy. After Kathy, it's Ann. All right, Kathy, come on down, Kathy.
All right, Kathy A. Kathy A. Draw some runes for you. Okay, so I was told to stop after drawing the second rune. So Kathy A, the first rune is algae. So algae means sanctuary. The next rune is Pertho. Sometimes when it comes up, it means stop. Don't go any further with the reading. So I was being shown on this a sense of urgency of sanctuary. I feel so much pressure on you. It feels tremendous, especially on my head and shoulders. I feel like I have a lot of weight on my head and shoulders. The algae is saying you need rest now. Find it. And you need to have your own personal sanctuary, your own pause, your own quiet time something to release all this tension and anxiety. You need to focus, take care of yourself, according to this runes and Perthos saying, if you don't do this, all right, you could have consequences in your future that are quite severe with health issues. So keep in mind to protect your health, take a little bit of rest now, according to this, build your own sanctuary, build your own peace, your own boundaries, your own place of sanctuary. And a little bit of rest is going to pay off a lot for you later.
That's great. Okay, next up is Anne. Come on down, Anne. She says, how does Elle feel about me, please? And she also says, question, how soon will we see each other again? And thank you.
Okay, let's take a look here and see what the runes say about how Elle feels about you. Oh, Kathy A said she completely understood that reading. Okay, so Anne, let's see what we have here. Okay. So Manas. So Manas is the rune of the Bifrost Bridge, the Rainbow Bridge. It's intellect, humanity, and I'm getting off of this that he feels a connection with you. It doesn't feel like necessarily romantic connection, but he is just recognizing that he does have some sort of energy connection to you. Like he feels a connection to you. The next rune I got is Tiwaz. So Tiwaz being the rune of victory. This can also represent oath, promise. It could also represent a man. And it also points north. So there's a lot of things it can represent here. What I have a feeling, that he feels a sense of loyalty towards you. And he has this sense of having to be there for you. Not as an obligation, but he feels like a sense of duty because of the connection. Okay. The next rune I got is Ewaz. So Ewaz is travel. And what I'm seeing is a rapid progression of a relationship moving forward. Okay. That's what I'm seeing. But it does start with he actually feels that connection.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Lori. Shout out to everybody to Lori. Okay, now we have, let me make sure, we got Lori Gibbs, we got Crafty, and Chris, and Virgil. And right now, Chris says, if you only have time, any updates from Spirit regarding our residential move, please and thank you.
All right, Chris L.
And she says, could Dow repeatedly sing by related to a roommate at all? Well, it could be. That's what I was thinking too. It could be related to the roommate. Yes, it's a possibility. Good question.
Okay, and about the residential move. Let's see what the runes have to say about that. Okay, so the first rune I have is I was, death, communication, regeneration. And on this move, I keep seeing a lot of paperwork, a lot of attention to detail required. Like a painstaking attention to detail will be required. And then the next rune I got is Thorisos. So Thorisos is boundaries. It's also the thorns that stick out, and this could be caution or anything sharp. I'm being told caution and to not rush anything. Be cautious. Proceed with caution. The next rune I got, this is Manas, but Manas here is inverted. This is the bridge. And I feel like some obstacles do come up, and it's very, very frustrating obstacles that do come up. It's like you see it and you look like you're in the clear, and it looks like it's going to happen, going to move forward, and something comes up and it just blocks you and it just frustrates you. Let's draw one more room just to see if we have an outcome here. So, interference. There's going to be a lot of interference with this move. So you have to use attention to detail, an abundance of caution, and proceed slowly. You don't want to rush anything, but there will be a lot of obstacles in your way.
Awesome. All right. Next up is Crafty. Crafty, come on down. Am I going to visit Sweden? And are there any new messages for my squirt world? Angela.
That's cool. That's a cool question. You know, all the Amish around here speak Swedish German where I live.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay. Am I going to visit Sweden? And are there any new messages in the spirit world? So, Crafty, let's do a rune reading for you. Okay. So, the first rune I got is Algies, which is sanctuary. And I have a sense of, yes, that making that travel, and it feels like a relaxing experience to go there. I feel such relief. I feel so relaxed. Like this is a really relaxing place to go in Sweden. I don't know what your destination or where in Sweden you're going, but it feels like it's going to be a relaxing experience. The next rune is Ansus. So Ansus being the rune of wisdom, and the rune of particularly speaking wisdom. But in this case, I'm hearing from spirit, pay attention to what you hear. Pay attention to what other people are saying and learn from that. Don't say anything back to them. Don't respond one way or the other. Just listen and just kind of keep it to yourself. Okay, but learn from what they're speaking. The next rune I got is Ingwan. So Ingwan is the rune of just stability, prosperity, it's fertility. I'm giving a sense of you, even though that you have these doubts. I feel like you have these lingering doubts about your finances and about how stable you're going to be. Well, there is stability coming. So you'll have more certainty on that. There's stability in your future is what I'm seeing. So more financial stability.
Chris says, Angela, I can't go any slower. Already almost 2 years waiting.
Oh my God, you can't go any slower here. I'm laughing because the rune said, and what you said is it's like, sometimes spirits will come to you and say stuff, and you're like, what? Really? You're telling me this? Okay, Chris, let's see what, I just want to follow up on that. Let's see what the runes say, since you can't go any slower. Let's see what the runes have to say, how you might speed this up. How might this come together? Let's check on that. I do the same thing. Sometimes spirits are, come to you and they're just, and you just go, what?
Right.
All right. So the first rune I got is Ansus. So Ansus is the rune of speaking. So this rune is showing me making a lot of phone calls to try and get this moving along. The next rune is Isa. And this rune is telling me be patient and wait on the results of all those calls you've been making, all those contacts you've been making. Give it time for your words to sink in and to get the results that you need. The next rune, okay, this is Iwas. This is motion. This is rapid forward momentum, progress. So the runes are suggesting that you make a few phone calls here to try and speed this up and try to get everybody involved and try to move this along and Just give it some time for all your words to sink in, for that communication to happen, and things should be moving along according to the runes. So I want to do that for you, just to ask the runes, how much you speed that up.
Right. Virgil, come on down, Virgil. Oh my Lord, he's going to go to the zoo and he's going to be put in a cage and people are going to come. Anyways.
Virgil. Okay.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay, so Virgil, what do we have for you? And I'm putting the runes out here. Okay, so Virgil, the first rune I got is Yara. So Yara is the rune that represents 1 full year, but it's also the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, and then the day starts getting longer, and it can represent harvest. So what I'm getting, Virgil, that I'm being told in the spirit world that you're actually getting a harvest, okay, of what you've been working on. It's like the spirit world saying, okay, it's time to start rewarding him for the past work that he's done. The next rune I got is Ing. So Ingwas is stability, and this is male. It's very masculine, and it's the male aspect of nature, fertility, spring, stability, prosperity. And I'm being told you're seeing plans work out for you. So the plans that you've been made a long time ago finally start to come together and start to produce the results that you were hoping for. And then the next rune, this is Degas. So Degas is the rune of enlightenment, of clarity. It's a balance between the light and the dark, and it's the height of the sun. So it's the maximum height of the sun in the noonday sky, or it literally represents noon. And from this rune, I'm getting a sense of clarity with this. It's as if you get it and you understand the process now, spiritually, what you need, how that process works with planning, setting goals, and how things manifest. And it becomes very clear to you. So you actually end up a little bit wiser in the future. As you come to that, you see the results of your work that you put in.
Awesome. Lori Gibbs says, Angela, if you have some time, is it going to happen? I am doggy granny, which I love, but a human would be nice too, because my doggy, one is a French bulldog, who body checks his old body. What? What?
All right, so you're asking me if you're going to be a grandma of a human child, right? And, you've been a doggy granny, but it'd be nice to be a granny with a human grandchild, not just a
that makes sense.
Right? So let's just take a look here and see what the runes have to say. Is there a grandchild, a human grandchild in her future? Let us see.
I think there is. I kept getting a grandbaby with her.
Okay. Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay. So Degas is enlightenment. I'm seeing a joyous news. So good news coming. The next rune I got is, this is Iwas. This is death and regeneration. One, I heard that there's a reincarnation happening. So there is somebody that is preparing to be reincarnated, right, as your grandchild. Okay, so this is somebody being reincarnated. This is somebody you may have known from a past life, but they're coming back. They're being reincarnated to stay in your soul group. Okay, and the next rune I got is Isa. So Isa is the rune of patience. So I'm being told to tell you, be patient. This is happening. This is happening. And this soul that was from a past life that's being reincarnated, is a female, or when you knew her. She felt like that at the time that she was older to you. She's telling me that she was your grandmother in that lifetime, and that just she's coming back as your grandbaby.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lori said she has no patience.
I know. I'm kind of short on that too. Well, Angela, it's been a fantastic show tonight. How's people get a hold of you?
Well, they can actually have to go on Google and type in my name, and that's the best way to find me because I've been kind of shadow banned. So you type in Angela Bowley's Psychic Portrait Artist in a Google-based web browser, and my Facebook page and my website comes up. If you click on my Facebook page first, you can actually send me a message on my Facebook page, look at all the videos I put out, and my artwork, and of course you can get a hold of me that way. And I also post announcements where I'm going to be, and so if you want to meet me in person, and if you want me to do a reading for you in person, you can do that too.
Well, that's awesome. Well, it's always fantastic, right, to have the show and have you on it. And we want to send Justin Decker and Jennifer McDaniel's prayers for his healing and for a quick recovery. And if you're not following Jennifer or Justin, please go out and follow them and make sure to monitor them or Bigfoot Outlaw page. And for any updates, I'm trying to keep it posted as possible and not trying to bug Jennifer. So what do you think, Angela and Mary?
I think it's a wonderful show tonight. I mean, it's a lot of really good energy that came through.
Yeah, really good. Really good. And ladies and gentlemen, Godspeed, everybody. And from coast to coast, around the world, good night, everybody. Get you on tomorrow's show. Bye-bye.
It's a grizzly.
Should we get out of here?
No. We're gonna watch and listen.
Action.
It's a grizzly.
Oh, shit, should we run?
No.
Action.
It's a grizzly.
Oh, shit, should we run?
Okay. It's a grizzly.
Are you sure it's not a chipmunk? Action. No, I'm out of here. Action.
It's a grizzly.
I'm out of here.
Huh. Maybe it is a chipmunk. It's a grizzly.
Are we gonna die?
I don't know. We're just going to sit here and listen and watch.
Let's get out of here, maybe.
Fall!